And we're almost live everywhere. Welcome to the Field to the Deal live stream podcast with Super Agent Peter Schaffer. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Another football Friday. How about the Bucks going to Houston?
Right?
Who do the Bucks play? Do they? Is Ohio State playing a Division I team this week?
Yeah,
Still?
they're playing a high school
They're
team
playing
in
the
Ohio
Bucks.
with a Steele Chambers linebacker extraordinaire from the Buckeyes. I want to thank Steele Peter. I don't know if you realize this, but he went into enemy territory this week for me. He went on to a Michigan fans radio show in Toledo. My buddy Denny Schaffer, he was a special guest on there. So he was representing the Buckeyes in enemy territory.
How'd he do?
He did great.
I did what I could. I cussed a couple times on accident.
He's like, we're gonna have to let our program director know he dropped a few swear words during. It's like, I think I saw the guy dump you. I think you're good. I think it went on YouTube. I don't think it went over broadcast. So,
okay.
But
I'll go.
Steele, did you feel like you were, like cheating or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Did you have to take a shower afterwards?
No, it's all quality fun.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Yeah.
But isn't that at the end of the day? Isn't that what makes sports great? Rivalries.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's my favorite part that I've kind of developed since like college. Because yeah, on the field, like you hate them, but you respect them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You respect those guys.
No, absolutely. And yeah, Denny's a good guy. He's a good friend, and I think they're going to have you on again, Steele. So just watch your language next time.
Yeah, I'll cut down on the swear words.
You're going to get fined to your agent saying, "Hey, he got fined for swearing again." So that'll.
Funny you just said that. I just got. This is what happens, and Steele can tell you this, but I just got a notice of discipline from last week's games.
Huh.
Player compliance discipline. Yes, you get. That's what happens. You wake up and used to be FedEx's Steele back in the day. You get a FedEx
little envelopes or whatever.
Yeah, you get it delivered to the door, and the FedEx guy would have just a smile on his face, knowing what he's doing. Right. Now we get emails.
Sucks either way.
Nice. And so, hey, quick question for you, Steele. As a defensive guy watching the Colts last week, we're going to go jump into the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
As a defensive guy watching what the Colts did to my lowly Dolphins, are you concerned at all for the Broncos having to go up against the Colts offense this week?
I think there's just not like the sample size just isn't big enough, so we don't really know just how good the Colts are. Plus, I feel like the Dolphins kind of just didn't really show up Sunday. So I wouldn't be too concerned. I think their defense is going to be able to handle them overall. But I think it is interesting, especially seeing just Jones, just like how he responds after that successful week one and how he does week two with a pretty good defense.
Isn't it, Steele, when you really think about it, that's what the NFL is all about. It used to be you get a lot of indications and tells from preseason, but now nobody does anything.
Yeah. So
the first week you're like, oh, this team must be really good because they beat, the Detroit Lions, who everybody thought would be maybe the Super Bowl team. You're like, well, maybe they're not. Maybe Detroit's not that good, and maybe Washington's not that good because they beat Detroit. And last week, the Broncos beat the Titans. Well, are the Titans great, or are they average, or what did they beat? Right?
Yeah, I think it takes like 3, maybe even 4 weeks to kind of really just develop just an identity as a team. So you might go in week one, have a hell of a week. You might have a bad week, but ultimately you've got. It's a 17, 18-week season. Like you've got time to develop as a team. So what you see in week one not might be what you get in week 4 or week 5.
The other thing is too that I tell people, coaches, all my coaches and stuff, they're like, yeah, we're grinding tape. I said, you understand they're watching tape of you too.
Mm-hmm.
So what you did last week, okay, you pulled out some surprises and this great blitz or wow, that was such a unique thing. Well, now you showed it.
Mm-hmm. Now. Not everything's on the table, but everyone's watching film. So a lot of times it just comes down just winning one-on-one battles. So I
told a team that didn't do well in the red zone. I said, well, the beauty thing of that is because you really didn't run any plays, is that this week you guys can put a whole bunch of plays in and nobody will know they're coming. because you guys did such a poor job that, trust me, you could put some new plays in, and well, you should be able to surprise some people.
Absolutely.
Because, it is interesting, where I'll give you an example. I know that what Sean Payton said after the game, and this is, I don't know if you saw it, but they went for it on 4th down. Right?
I didn't like their 4th down calls.
Well, no. So there's it was like maybe a minute, 20 seconds left. They have the ball on the plus 40, and it's maybe 4th and 3. And so the choices are obviously punt, field goal, or go for it, right? And they decided to go for it. Okay, your first down wins the game over. You kick a field goal, you make it, game over. You miss it, then they're going to get the ball at their the negative 47, or you punt the ball and make them go 90 yards because they were down by 8, 90 yards, minute 10, no timeouts, whatever. They decided to go for it, and the rationale was that Coach Payton said is, well, I know we had a play that would work, and I'm like, okay, that's great. But if you know you have a play that works, once you use it, people are going to see it. Is this really the first game of the season when you want to, show that? You might need, especially when you could punt it and make them go 90 yards. That was my thought process. Not that it didn't work or that my thought process was, do we want to show them that on tape?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to show that week 1. And then, yeah, I mean, you had a defense that was working their tails off. You're going against a rookie quarterback. I would have just punted it and make them drive 90 yards, get a touchdown, and then a 2-point conversion. But I mean, it ended up working out for him. But I feel like against a more experienced team, I guess that could have come to bite them in the butt later on.
Do you think what if they were playing like a Baltimore or Buffalo? Would you have gone for it? It's like, hey, we have to go win this.
Yeah, I think at that point you got to be more aggressive. You got to make a statement because you're coming into the game as an underdog. You got to lay all your cards out. You can't show this early that we're just going to be playing on our heels.
Hey, Steele, one of the things I hear all the time is all the weeks are important. Is week 1 really all that important, especially with like how preseason's played? Like, is it really that important?
Yeah, I'd say it's important. I mean, it's getting the wheels moving on the season. I think there's a big difference. You come out as an 0-1 team versus a 1-0 team, just in morale in the team, I guess morale with the fans. And I think that could either just work with you if you win, or it could be detrimental to you.
No, you also have 17 games. So it's not like baseball. You could take a week off, so we lost 2 out of 162.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, I do think that the difference is in football, which I'll tell you something, that Sunday night game, that is why football is the greatest.
That was one of my favorite watches I've had in a while. That was awesome.
Right, but that's why football, the NFL is the greatest sports property in the history of the world. It's reality TV. You can't script that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
If I had said, Steele, you and Rob, let's do this great idea. Let's do a football movie. And I want you to go do the greatest comeback, script it. You couldn't have done it.
No. Couldn't have drawn that one up.
Right.
It's all moment.
Edge of their seats. It's fantastic.
It is impressive. Now, going back to the Broncos with the Colts this week, Steele, playing linebacker, did you have to guard many tight ends? Were you the guy that had to go out and guard them?
Well, no, we had our safeties do a lot of that brunt work. Me and Tommy Eichenberg, we were just in the middle, we were either playing zone, we were man on the running back, or we were just all run defense.
So, like with a guy like Warren, Tyler Warren playing for the Colts, how difficult of a matchup is he to cover? Where he's, at least had a great week 1. Now you kind of are the Broncos kind of like, all right, welcome to the real league. Now you're playing our defense.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I take that statement back. I did have to guard him on a big 4th and 1. I think like 3 years ago. Did not work out for me. But they split him out wide. I had to go out wide. Didn't like it. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly a mismatch because I mean, you've got a guy who just in just 1 week just shows how versatile he is. I think he tied the reception record. From week 1 with the guy over at Cleveland. So I mean, they're working him into the offense. They're going to try to find those mismatches, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see him play.
So, but how do you prepare for that then? All right, he's a tight end. He's got you by 20 pounds, maybe, right?
I'd say so, probably something like that.
All right. So, are you saying to yourself in each play, I know where my help is? Number 1. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I've scouted him. I know what 70% of the time he's doing this route from this formation. And then 3, are you saying, okay, I want to take away the most dangerous route. So if he wants to run a 3-yard out, God bless him.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You at the end of the day, you got to live with sometimes giving up some of those. And then, like you were saying, you got to know where your help is. I know, like, if I'm playing man on him and I'm preparing this week, I want to know where my whole guy is. If I'm playing just a simple man, I want to know.
What do you mean by whole guy? What do you mean by that?
A lot of times, depending on like kind of what scheme you're in, you might have a linebacker that's playing whole. So if I'm guarding him, let's say like he's split out, I'm gonna play outside leverage, and hopefully my linebacker buddy's gonna help me on the inside. So I'm gonna play just heavy outside. If he goes inside, I'm gonna try to catch up to him, and then I got that linebacker helping me. Or maybe it's a safety. It could be really anyone depending on the scheme.
So right. So then, if that's the case, and then offense knows that that's what you're doing, or the quarterback is astute enough to see you outside leverage, and they know that linebacker who's to your left, if he's on, the receiver's on the left side, is your help. Wouldn't they run someone from the other side into that hole, saying, "Okay, he can't. We're going to squeeze that linebacker because he can't cover 2 now."
I mean, it kind of just it's all a matchup thing. It's like if you go into this game and you're focused and you know that Warren's going to be that mismatch that you're going to have trouble with all game, then you kind of have to live with that. And then the guy on the backside, he just got to play good man to man, maybe not get as much help, but like he'll know there's a mismatch on the other side. I might be on an island here, so I got to lock this guy up.
Are you worried about him like doing a seam route going deep? Is that, or do you know that you have help there?
Depends on the coverage. If it's a cover 2, he's going down the seam, bending in the middle, and I'm like a Tampa 2 linebacker. I know I got to get on my horse. So yeah, it kind of depends on the coverage.
All right. So Rob, this is what happens. This is, and then what happens really, and this is what's fascinating to me. And this is where, they all talk about quarterbacks and that, and, everybody's got the playbook and they know what's going on, but then the quarterback's got to come up to the line of scrimmage, and it's not X's and O's at this point. It's, okay, we now have a linebacker on the tight end. Okay. Now we know that Steele's a 4-5-5 guy. The tight end's a 4-5, but wait, now if they put a safety on, then maybe the quarterback's saying what, Steele?
Now I'm looking at another option. Or if it's a smaller safety, I'm just going to throw it up to him and he just makes a play.
Right. You just turn him around at 8 yards.
Yeah.
Or I might go can and run right up his butt, because now I've got a 250-pound tight end on a 200-pound safety.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Peter, I want to play defensive coordinator VJ role here for a second. Like, say Steele's on our defensive, you're in our defensive meetings. I'm like, Steele, we got an issue this week. We want to get you on the field. Would you rather cover Warren or Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor. I think Warren's just proven. I mean, he's a rookie, but I mean, I would just feel more comfortable going up against a running back who it doesn't seem like they've really opened him up in the passing game. So I think it'd just be easier in general.
And a running back has less routes.
Yeah, their route tree is only probably 3 or something, unless you're Jahmyr Gibbs and you're splitting them out wide.
In which case, if they're splitting them out wide, then you guys see this is what happens. So if you get a Jahmyr Gibbs and you're splitting out wide, they're not treating him as a running back.
No, that's a wide receiver at that point, in which case there's no world where I should be going out to guard him.
Right. If he goes out to guard him, Rob, if he goes out to guard him, well, no, but if he does, then I'm knowing they're in man.
Oh yeah, exactly. If you see my ads going out all the way to the edge of the field, I mean, and I'm going to be playing 15 yards off. I'm hitting him on a quick little dump and just hoping that he makes me miss. Scott
McClune, who's one of our hosts. We don't know where he is right now, but I was in Washington. He was a general manager of the Redskins back, 5-6 years ago, and they were watching. I think it was Brady, and so we're watching the game from the night before they played the Patriots, and Patriots split out the running back wide right in the first half, and he just runs right by the linebacker, and we're like, well, what do we do? The problem is in the third quarter he did it again, and the defense didn't change coverages. And guess what happened when they split him out? Ran right by him again.
Well, at that point, you got to try to disguise it. Maybe he runs with him, and now you've got a linebacker playing just like curl flat or something just out there, and just mix
right.
up, just try to throw him off a little bit.
But you at some point, if they aren't changing, just keep run play.
Oh, absolutely. I'm taking my chances on a speedy running back and then a linebacker out in space.
And so Rob, what you said that I think that really wasn't really highlighted, but you talk about Vance Joseph. That was one of the great defensive performances, maybe in a long time. 130 yards, of which I think they had a -2 in the second half.
It was the second half was nothing.
That's like in basketball, holding a team to maybe 50 points.
Yeah.
In an NBA.
Yeah. Obviously you got Cam Ward. When you get all of a sudden you at least have the first half of film and information, you go, okay, now we have some information to make our adjustments. Like Peter always says, if you don't have information, you're making guesses and assumptions. I think Steele, even you mentioned where you'd watch guys' high school film to sort of get some idea on what they're running. But now they have an idea of what's going on. So it'll be interesting to see what Cam Ward does in week 2. But I'm really curious, with Daniel Jones, or his new nickname in Indiana is Indiana Jones. How instead of Danny Dimes, it's Indiana Jones. Are the Broncos going into the Temple of Doom? But can they keep up scoring on every drive? Because it seems like the Broncos give up an early drive for at least a score as they're figuring out what the game plan is. Are they going to give up an early score to Indiana Jones? What do you think, Steele?
I don't think so. I think the defense is going to be coming out ready to play. They had a fantastic performance. I think they're going to be excited to play an opponent like the Colts. And I don't think they're going to start off with a first drive touchdown. It's hard to score in the NFL, so I think they'll hold them.
Well, I think the other thing is it's interesting about football is everything is, even though offense and defense, offense, medium defense, they are conjoined. That Broncos had 4 turnovers. That means the defense was playing on short fields 4 times, and that makes a huge difference. If you play field position and the defense or offense gets the ball to the -20 and has to go 80 yards, it's a whole different ballgame than you get the ball at the 42. Maybe 1 first down, or maybe just go 3 and out, but get 6 yards and kick a field goal. You actually held the team to 6 yards in offense, and they gave up 3 points.
Yeah. Like on that muff punt, I think they were already set up in field goal range, and then 3 plays later, they knock them back 15, 20 yards. They just saved 3 points. But the defense is working.
And in a typical NFL game, how many QB pressures do you expect to get on your QB? If you're Vance Joseph, how many QB pressures are you expecting throughout a game?
Ooh, I'd have to know the median number usually. I think they'd want to be in that upper echelon of numbers because they just paid Nick Bonito. They've got a guy like Jonathan Cooper who's just got a motor on him. They've got guys. They're able to create pressure with only 4 guys, and then once you throw in blitzes, they get a lot of QB pressures overall.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, so here it is. Interesting enough, statistically, 2 of the top 3 defenses right now, of course, it's only 1 game sample, are playing. Colts are number 3 in defense in total yards.
They were playing the Dolphins.
That doesn't count.
That's right. But so, it's interesting too is statistics in football can be skewed because let's say the Broncos are up 28 a couple times last year, they're up 28-10, fourth quarter, and you're playing cover 2 or you're playing, keep it underneath, and teams are racking up yards because they're silly yards. Mm-hmm. And that does skew sometimes statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
playing Delaware if you're CU.
Right. Or I remember one time they said, well, the Jets lead the league in rushing. Offensively, they have the best rushing attack. Well, that's because they're down by 28 every time, and teams are letting them just run the ball for 7 yards a carry in the third and fourth quarter. They should be. So sometimes, unlike in baseball, which is a tremendous statistical sport, football, sometimes stats do get skewed. Like interceptions. Oh, I led the league in interceptions. What does that mean to you, Steele?
It means my defensive line got to the QB. It helped me out, probably.
Or the offense coordinator of the team saw something. They thrown at you.
Yeah.
Because
I would think more of for a cornerback tackles. If a cornerback's getting 9 tackles a game, they playing a lot of man. He probably had a bad day.
Right, but Coach Prime did not have a lot of interceptions because people are like, no, we're not doing that.
Not throwing to him.
He's not getting the ball. We're not throwing. We're looking. Patrick Surtain doesn't get as many interceptions as maybe he should. People aren't throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a lot of interceptions, That means they're throwing the ball at you, and the only reason they're throwing the ball at you is because they saw something on film.
Yeah.
So in week 1, the Broncos hit Cam Ward 14 times.
Seems like a lot.
That seems on the upper echelon, like you're saying of it. And where I'm going with this is Daniel Jones by the Dolphins was only hit twice. So I feel like, kind of like you were saying, Steele, I feel like the Broncos are going to put a little bit more pressure on Daniel Jones than the patty cake the Dolphins played.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's going to be a different game. It'll be competitive this time.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's going to be a walkover. I don't think but I think it's one of those games where Daniel Jones was like, now it's easy to drive a ship when the seas are calm. All of a sudden, it's going to be some rough waters.
Yeah, how are you going to do whenever you get hit by a couple waves? Because I mean, he has one good game, and now they're naming him Indiana Jones. You got to prove a little more through a couple more weeks.
I mean, it's a better nickname than Danny Dimes, especially now he's out of New York. Though, let's be fair.
I don't know. I didn't watch any of the Indiana Jones movies, so that has no connection to me whatsoever.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Wait. Hold up.
I'm young.
That's disappointing.
Hold up. I know your mother very well.
Yeah.
Very educated, very smart.
Uh-huh.
But this could be one of the great examples of this poor parenting that I've seen.
I don't think so. I watched older movies. I'm big on Top Gun. So I was just kind of gravitated towards other stuff. Just not Indiana Jones.
But I'm not talking about just like, okay, let's choose between, Top Gun and Mission Impossible. This is a seminal movie. I mean, this is one of a top 10. Parents should make their children watch top 10 movies. That's just the way it is, or it should be. If you're a good parent, that's all I'm saying.
I watched The Waterboy a lot. If that helps. Waterboy was a great movie.
It helps, but not in that sense.
That helped me get through football as a little 6-7-year-old. It's not like I'm watching good stuff.
You know what I just learned there is I'm way older than I think. That's what I just remember. When he said he was watching Waterboy at 6-7 years old to help him get through football, all right.
It's an old movie for me.
Oh man. All right. Hey, Peter, question for when it comes to the NFL regular season.
Wait, I gotta do this one call. I'm gonna get off for a second. Just whatever camera you guys chat. All right.
All right, Steele. Question for you.
Yep.
With the NFL, I'm going to take Peter off the screen so I don't have a big white dot on there. When we see him come back on the stage, we'll bring on. When you're thinking like NFL, with the guys don't play much in the preseason, when's the transition from like regular season, real season to like when can you start taking numbers and stuff for real, where guys have now played enough regular season football where you can actually get a real, like, are you good or a bad team? How long is it going to take?
Oh gosh, I think it's hard because you've got teams that come out strong immediately, and then you'll see like a Cincinnati, like from last year, where it takes them almost 2 months to kind of just like find their groove. But I mean, I think just the average, I would say, is like 3 to 4 weeks. I think that's whenever you've kind of found an identity as a football team, and whenever you start to realize like what's successful, what's detrimental to your success. So I'd say about a month.
Okay, that seems about right. And then the other team I'm curious with a slow start, that could be a really slow start this year, could be Kansas City. I know, as in Denver land here, we're all heartbroken that they lost their first game to the Chargers, and now they're going to Philadelphia's at least coming to them, but they're playing Philadelphia this weekend, and they could go 0-2 if they don't right the ship a little bit. Like, is the kingdom of Kansas City collapsing, or is it just like, hey, they just have a tough schedule to start?
I think they got a tough schedule to start, and then they're just losing a lot of weapons. I mean, I know Patrick Mahomes usually just kind of works with what he has, but it seems especially this year, he doesn't have that same explosiveness and speed on the outside. And then of course Travis Kelce, great player. He's getting older, and I don't know. And then I feel like as fans, like you're kind of just gravitate more towards like the Josh Allens and the Lamars, just because they put up video game numbers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Less people are just like looking at Mahomes, because even though he finds ways to win games, he's only putting up 200 yards or something like that.
Yeah, the defense for Kansas City has helped carry them more over the last few years.
Absolutely.
In their offense, that's for sure. And then going back with the week 1 with the Chargers putting actually a good win against Kansas City. Are they for real? Like, and that's the other reason I was asking, like, when do we start saying our team's good or not? Like, are the Chargers for real this year from what you can tell?
I think they had a great start. I think they could definitely be for real. I mean, they've got their quarterback in Justin Herbert. They got weapons. I mean, they got Ladd McConkey, one of my personal favorite receivers out there. Got Keenan Allen. You got the other guy that's not dropping balls anymore.
Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson. Okay, that's on me. My bad.
It's okay. You're a defensive guy. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they showed the ability to move the ball and ultimately control a game almost on offense. And then their defense, they're going to pick up. They got great coaching in Harbaugh. So, I mean, they have what it takes to make a long run.
I want to jump to college football because it starts tonight. Are you getting used to Friday night football for college yet, or does that feel like it should be the high school?
No,
night?
I don't. I'm used to Maction on a Thursday and then Saturday.
Maction. Mac football.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird having. I get it with the TV, and you're going to get more viewership, but I do kind of wish they kind of gave Friday night to the high schools. Like, hey, go support your local high school. It's Friday night, but they don't care what I think, so they're still playing tonight. CU is going to Houston. Can you give me some hope for CU here? Like, what are we thinking here?
I don't know. Last I saw, do they have some kind of like quarterback merry-go-round right now?
They do. The Staub guy, who was the third stringer to start, came in the second half and just kind of lit it up for CU, and now is the potential starter.
I mean, at this point, like, it's not like he jumped over a guy that's been starter for 2 years now. So I say you just let that hot hand ride.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
Yeah, right now Houston's favored by 4.5 with a 45.5 point, overall or over under.
I'd take that over.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a shootout. Actually,
I think this is just your classic Friday shootout where both teams putting up 30 plus.
Yeah, it's good. First one to 40 wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's actually. I'd rather watch offensive. It's always fun to have those games. I'm sure as a defensive guy, you don't want to be out there every time you're just giving up runs and scores.
I'm good. I'm good with an old barn burner. As long as it's because the offense is just not outperforming, but like on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like there are throws that Josh Allen was making where like what do you do against that? Like I'm a big fan of that where the offense is performing at a point where the defense almost just can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm good with high scoring games. I am a defensive guy, but good football is good football.
It is, and it's fun to watch. Like as long as it's like similar on either way. If it's a 3-3 game, I want to be like, oh, you know what? Steele just stopped them behind the line. It's going to be another punt. Okay, great.
I want to see some cool schemes at least if it's going to be 3-3. Give me give me something to bite on here.
Right. At least it keeps you on the edge of your seat when a big play is a huge play. You don't want to miss anything. Kind of just like, just like a pitcher's duel, things like that, a defensive duel. That's fine from time to time. Keeps the game honest and real.
I think it's just hard for like normal fans, like seeing the enjoyment in a 3-3 game where they don't really like kind of know like the plays they're calling. They don't understand just kind of like behind the scenes stuff.
I just picture the OCs like in their booths just ripping up their sheets.
Exactly. It's the world. Yeah, it's a pure chess game at that point.
Yeah. We're like, I got one. This one's going to work. Steele got him again. It's like, so other big game. I'm curious what your thoughts are this weekend on. Might be a little close to home for you. Georgia, Tennessee. It's kind of a big one this weekend.
That is a big. I'm going to my buddy's house to see that one. They're big Georgia fans, so I think it's going to be interesting. I might be cheering for old Rocky Top, but I mean, I think in this sort of game, if you're Tennessee, you're Joey Aguilar, I think you got to push the envelope hard because you're in Tennessee. You're going against a Georgia team that performs every year. I think you gotta score 40 and hope Georgia just can't keep up.
So you think it's going to be that type of game for Georgia?
I think that's the type of game Tennessee has to play if they want to win. I think if it's a low scoring game, I think Georgia pulls it out.
They're not going to win like a 17-14 game.
No, I think just with Kirby Smart on the other side, just a great coach. And then you've got a pretty experienced defense. You've got a quarterback that has some experience in big games. I think if it's a close game, then Georgia's going to pull it out.
Who has Tennessee played this year? Listen, Georgia's played Marshall and Austin Peay.
This is because Georgia hasn't been talked a lot because they usually start off their year not playing anyone. So I could work out for Tennessee just because Georgia hasn't been tested yet all year.
Yeah, and like to be fair, Tennessee played Syracuse, the first week of the year, and they played ETSU last week and beat them out bad. Yeah. But at least at Syracuse, Syracuse is at least a legitimate ACC program.
Yeah, it's definitely a step above what is Austin Peay.
Austin Peay and Marshall.
Yeah, it's a step above.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this will be that might be the one to watch this week. The other question I had for you, more for you specifically too, is any upsets that you see this weekend besides Central Michigan beating Michigan?
That'd be a cool one to watch.
Could you imagine?
Dude, that'd be bad. At that point, I'd start feeling for him because that would be a tough shake after a heart loss like last week.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh!
My goodness. I mean, I would say probably Georgia Tech, Clemson.
Okay.
If I were going to pick another one, I think
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think Clemson. They're just, I don't know. I don't know if they were overhyped in the offseason, but they lost a close one to LSU, a good team. But then the following week, they just came out really flat in their offense, and Kate Klubnik just haven't performed the way like I especially thought they were going to. And then Georgia Tech, that's just one of those tricky teams in the ACC that out of nowhere, whether it's it's a Thursday game maybe, or it's a primetime game, they're gonna give them trouble. So
I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, Steele, like by nature. My aunt and uncle indoctrinated me from a young age. They lived down there. My uncle used to work for the school. Like Christmas and birthdays was all Miami Hurricane gear. So easily indoctrinated as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I hate playing Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is that team where you just go. They could be a 500 team, and you're just like, I just don't like playing them. I don't feel comfortable with this.
There are teams in every conference that are like that where they might be 4-4 on the year, but for some reason they just they give you trouble. Yeah,
it's just like how they run their offense. They run it way more than everybody else. I think they've opened it up a little bit more. I used to coach basketball at a high school in North Carolina, and they ran the wishbone offense where it was like they ran it every play. It felt like
I had to go against that three times a year in high school, and we usually pulled out the win. But the week leading up to it, you absolutely hated preparing for it.
It was so funny because I'd show up at halftime or something, like missed part of the game, but you show up at halftime to see how the guys are doing. And you get in the stands, you talk to the parents. I'm like, hey, how we doing? They're like, hey, we're airing it out today. I think they've thrown it twice. Exactly. We're like, okay, 2 throws in the first half. All right, let's go. Yeah. Airing it out a little bit. The other game that seems of interest this weekend, or could have been interest like a decade ago, is Wisconsin and Alabama. It feels like 2 programs that are kind of left in the dust of modernization. Is that?
For that game, I mean, I want Alabama to win just purely because I'm honestly getting to the point where I feel bad for DeBoer and just all the stuff that's happening with him. Like I saw a clip of him on the sideline of one of these games. It just kind of looked like he was defeated, and he had to have another player come over to him and fire him up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, if I'm an Alabama fan and I see that from my coach after just over a decade of greatness with Saban, I'm furious.
Yeah.
And I mean, I start to feel for the man and not just the coach. So I'd want him to just pull out just a big win this week over Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I think they will. They're going to Alabama. At least they have that. They're favored by 20 and a half points. So you got to feel like, but if it's like a 21-20 game to win,
it's a win, but it's not going to feel like a win.
Yeah, and I feel like Alabama fans are like a lot of big fan bases. Like it's like the New York of NFL. It's like they're not rational people. You're supposed to win every game.
Oh yeah, the expectations are, especially like college football. It's so different. Where if you lose one game, sometimes they throw the season out.
Yeah,
it's a little different with the 12-team playoff. You might get 1, maybe 2, but I mean Tuscaloosa. I mean that's like a top 3 place where the standard is going to be as high as ever.
Absolutely. So going back to Miami, we have South Florida coming to us. We're playing on the CW. So I had to check to see if my Fubo network.
The CW.
That's where it's on. It's broadcast on the CW.
That's where I used to watch like all my superhero shows.
I know that's where Smallville was on. I'm like, oh, Smallville's gonna take a break of reruns to watch some Miami. I can do that. And so, but South Florida's going to Miami. Miami's favored by a lot, but they're both top 25 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the good news. How good's Miami?
I like to start off by saying I love when Miami is good. I think college football in general is better whenever they are because I grew up. I was always scared of Miami as a Florida State fan.
Okay.
I think the 2001 Miami team, best college team.
The Willis McGahee, Ken Dorsey team.
Dude, yeah, I remember whenever me and my buddies were watching a couple weeks ago, we were looking up just all the NFL talent from that team. It's almost like it's like an NFL team.
Yeah. No, it was like the up and down every position group had guys that went to go play in the NFL.
Yeah, special teams guys that weren't really getting on the field. You look at them, they had a 10-year NFL career. It's insane. But I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. I have USF as like my Boise State kind of the year coming out of the American, and I think they'll have a chance to get in the playoffs. But I think Miami, Carson Beck's starting to get a groove over there. He's definitely found just a better place for him, just even mentally, than Georgia. It looks like he's sort of enjoying football now. So I think Miami pulls this one off. Yeah. I think it's going to be a little closer than people think, like maybe like a 10-point game, but I think they'll still handle USF.
Yeah, no, it makes me feel better that we beat Notre Dame in week 1 and that we played a cupcake in Bethune, but now at least we got a good win on the season. So makes me feel more optimistic. But I was joking with my Buckeye friends. I was like, so what's it like having expectations of championships every year? This is weird for Miami to be good again. We're like, oh, we got a chance. We got a chance.
I mean, there's hope for sure. But I mean, do they have a chance? I don't know.
There's too much undetermined yet. It's only going into week 3.
Yeah,
we got to beat back and wins.
Yeah, they beat Notre Dame, but I mean, I don't know. For a team like Miami, where they didn't come out this offseason being hailed as like a real contender, I think they just have to show a little more.
Yeah, they just got to keep going.
And they're going to have the opportunity to.
Yep. What about? I don't know if you've spent much time then keeping on Notre Dame here, but they got A&M this weekend.
Ooh, is that at Notre Dame?
It is.
Yes.
South Bend.
Give me Notre Dame. That's a hell of an environment over there.
And it's an evening, 5:30 our time, but 7:30 out there. Well, is it South Bend Central time? It's an evening game for Notre Dame at least.
I'm not sure, but yeah, we had a night game there one year. They played shipping out to Boston right before kickoff, and it's probably like a top 3, top 5 environment I've ever been in. It's awesome. So I'm giving Notre Dame.
So the guy that you interviewed with or had a conversation with on his radio show yesterday, I used to be his producer when we both lived in Toledo.
Okay.
He shipped me on a Friday morning to South Bend, which is like an hour and a half drive from Toledo without much traffic. And so he sent me out there with a bullhorn and a cell phone. And this is when cell phones weren't all that, it was, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So
just a little flip phone probably.
Yeah, like the green screen, And so he had me pray to touchdown Jesus for his Michigan team going to Notre Dame that weekend. Guess who won that game?
I'm hoping Notre Dame.
Yeah, so it wasn't Michigan. So now I'm considered a jinx. So
hey, wear that as a badge of honor, man. Jinx him as much as you want.
No, definitely. So no problem with that. He's like, don't have him go to any games anymore. So, but and then what was the other one? Like the interesting one, at least here regionally in Colorado, is the Utah versus Wyoming game. Because
I won't lie, I've seen nothing on Wyoming, but I will say I've got one of my buddies, Ryan Davis, is a receiver over at Utah, so I'm going to go with Utah. And then I've seen their offense. It looks like they're kind of working like really well.
Yeah,
the quarterback's performing. So I mean, I would give that one to Utah.
Yeah, no, it's a fun weekend in college football where like it's kind of like big first weekend, kind of a lull second weekend. Everyone got back to playing their mid-majors, and they're coming now back to playing, like you got even Florida and LSU playing each other this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I do wish Florida beat USF just so, because I mean, you got to feel for them a little bit. They're going through a gauntlet in LSU, Texas. I think they have Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's a brutal schedule.
I don't know. Maybe they play the Packers at this point. I have no idea. Like,
you watched that game last night?
Oh yeah, my goodness.
I mean, is Jordan Love the real deal?
It's one of those things where like he doesn't like have those big name weapons, but he finds guys that are open. I mean, Tucker Kraft had a career night. They lost one of their receivers, but then you see a guy like Romeo Doubs step in and just have another great night in him. So, I mean, I think their offense, they're fine-tuned. They're working a lot. And then their defense, I mean, Jeff Hafley, he used to call defense for us back at O State.
Okay.
While still running back, but I mean, he had that 2019 defense looking stellar, and I think he's doing the same thing with the Packers. Now he just got a new toy in Micah Parsons, so it's almost unfair at this point.
Yeah, no, and I loved watching last night. It's like 3rd and 9. Here comes Micah.
And then they had him going against a rookie out of Oregon, and you got to feel for the kid. I mean, my goodness, your second game in the NFL, you're going against just an angry Micah Parsons the entire time.
Yeah,
you got to feel for him.
It's like punch your ticket, welcome to the league. But
yeah, like you had Kirk Herbstreit saying like I hope this guy can block him, and then the literal next play he's getting a sack.
Yeah,
it was a tough shake for him.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love had a great game, 19 for 31, 292 yards.
Yeah, he's
2
playing
touchdowns. I mean,
he's playing good ball.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just so balanced between that and then Josh Jacobs running. I mean, there's just so many ways that they can beat you.
If you're watching the game last night, Jaden Daniels, second game, 24 for 42. They were down a lot. I mean, at halftime it was 14-3.
Mm-hmm.
When do you start expecting? You're a defensive guy. When do you start a team adjusting their game plan to from say like being a balanced team to if they run a little bit more to having to throw a little bit more? What's the score when you start going? They're going to start adjusting. They're going to like when you start getting up on a team. When you go, they're going to start having to throw it more. What's the line when you go? They're making their adjustments.
I mean, for me, the number that stood out is like if you're in the second half and let's say like it's 17-20, if you're down 17-21, I think that's the point where you sort of have to think about it. But there's a lot of factors. It's like if you're on offense, like how's your defense holding up against their offense?
Yeah.
If they're getting scored on a bunch, then you've got to realize that there might be a point where you might get down 28. You just got to start slinging it.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, that number would be like you're getting into like halfway through the third quarter and it's 17 or something. Yes,
3 scores going towards the second, going halfway through the third. You're like, okay, we got to start putting the ball in the air a little bit more.
Yeah, and then it's hard whenever like they were getting pressure on him. He couldn't scramble, and that's a big part of his game.
I mean, he threw it 42 times for 24 completions, 200 yards. He was sacked 4 times. But, I mean, including his running, I mean, he technically carried it more than about half of what the team did. He ran it 7 times out of total 19 carries. Like, they didn't really try to run the ball.
I mean, I'm not sure why they gave up Brian Robinson because, I mean, besides Jane Daniels, he was their guy on the ground.
Yeah.
They've got the rookie and I don't know, people just call him Bill. I mean, he's playing great for a rookie, but they kind of just lost that running aspect of their offense. And I think that's going to make it harder for Jaden Daniels.
I mean, to throw it over 40 times, and you're throwing it 2 out of 3 times. Like, you got to see that as at least as a linebacker going, okay, I don't have to worry about them handing the ball off. Now you have a running quarterback.
No. I mean, that makes it way easier whenever you know if it's a run or pass. I think that's some like if you're preparing for a game and you see a tell where you know if it's run or pass, then you're celebrating because I mean it just makes the game so much easier.
Where did you look for tells at? What was the position group where it's like when you're getting there lining up, behind the big uglies and you're starting to see that, what are you looking for to go like, hey, I think this might, it looks like they're lining up for this.
I know, especially for us, we had just talented DNs. We had JT, we had Jack Sawyer. So a big tell for us was you look at an offensive tackle, if you know he's going to have to pass set and block one of those guys, he's going to be firmed up, ready, kind of just a lot of weight on that inside foot to push back. That's
Okay.
kind of what we looked at. We usually looked at tackles.
Okay.
Sometimes guys just give it away in their stance in 3-point or 2-point. So usually we get our tells from linemen, either that or just like formational stuff.
I'm back.
So
Peter,
Peter,
we're just asking Steele what he looks for and tells when, we're recapping a little bit of the Washington Green Bay game last night where it's like where Jane Daniels throws it 42 times, the team rushes it only 19 times, and 7 of those were him. And like, what are you looking for as a tell when it's like, hey, and how excited are you? Or you're going, hey, we know they're going to start throwing the ball.
Well, I think that we were talking about, sophomore slumps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think people figured out with Jaden Daniels, don't let him run the ball.
they didn't.
Pick your poison.
Mm-hmm.
And the poison is we'd rather you beat us with your arm, and he didn't do it. Part of that now, it's not just all Jaden Daniels. I wonder how much the receivers were getting separation or not getting separation. I think that McLaurin's a good player, but is he a top? The guy who gets separation to me, is a Jamar Chase, where you better put either a great corner on him or 2 other DBs because he's going to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a Terry McLaurin who makes a lot of plays, but is he beating guys? And clearly, they were not able to beat people just with a normal pass game. It's Russell
Mm-hmm.
Wilson. Russell Wilson is not going to beat you just dropping back and throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to beat, and if he starts running, and then you got to cover, and then it makes a difference. They did a nice job of keeping Jaden Daniels in the pocket, and said, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us with your arm, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
What? Steele and I were asking the question. We don't have a good answer. Do you know why they shipped Robinson off to San Francisco? If they only ran the ball 19 times for 51 yards.
My understanding is he was a handful.
Oh, okay.
But my response to that is, and Steele, I want you to know this is my coaching philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very firm coaching philosophy. I treat every one of my players the same way,
Mm-hmm.
unless they have talent.
Good
Every one
to
of
know.
them is the same. I treat them all the same, unless they're good.
Then it's a different story.
That's my philosophy. They're
They'll
all
get a couple
treated,
more pat on the backs.
yeah, we treat them all the same.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good
Peter,
job.
what were your takeaways from the Washington Green Bay game last night?
Green Bay's, they've got a nice squad. I thought, Love played well. Great combination right now of offense and defense. Defense played well. Great schemes.
Jeff
now,
Hafley, man. Ohio State. Jeff Hafley, Ohio State right there.
He did they did a nice job of, matching up and playing in the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people are going to have film on them, and, it's an evolving game. The one thing about, baseball and basketball, what you are in basketball in October, November, you're probably going to be that in March and in April and May.
Mm-hmm.
In baseball, what you are in April and May, you're going to probably be that in October. In football, you got to be evolving every week.
Oh yeah.
You sit there, stay the same, you're going backwards.
Yeah, you come out with the same game plan, it's going to be completely flipped.
Yep.
Yep, they're going to sit there and say, and Washington's got to, everybody likes to say, we're going to watch the tape. Yeah, you better watch the tape, but okay, what do we do wrong? Are people picking up on our tendencies? I still tell you, they go in a game, they know on 3rd and 5 to 10, this is what they're doing.
Probably a mesh.
Right, and so therefore you better be able to come up with something like, okay, we know. That's what's funny to me. I don't know if you saw it last night when they had to call timeout because they changed so late the personnel. They put in personnel like we're changing guys because we know exactly what they're going to do in this personnel group.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, if they and still you're way too young. Again, poor parenting by your mom. But I remember when the Giants had Joe Morris and Maurice Cawthon, one of the great backfields of all time. Joe Morris from Syracuse, Mo Cawthon from Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cawthon was a typical, you're just pounding fullback, and Joe Morris was a 5'8" scat back who just a tough running back, but nothing in the passing game. But if you had Cawthon as your fullback and a great offense line, you could just pound and, straight up Michigan football, Ohio State football back in the day. But I remember what the general manager says is, what's our offensive guys thinking? We have Cawthon back there with Morris. They know what we're doing. We're running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you have certain personnel groups, it's not as obvious as it with Morris and Cawthon, But that tight end's in the game. Oh, he ain't a blocking tight end. They're passing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's what they sit there and say. Oh, this guy's in the slot. Okay, watch it. They got to play for him. Right, Steele?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I know. For us, we play a lot of quarters. So a lot of times they put a little scat back or like a little slot guy just on me out wide. Realize if they run this route, then he's going to have me one-on-one, and then they're just looking to throw that immediately.
Rob, it's like in basketball. If you got a guy who likes to come off from the bottom left with a right-handed shooter, and he's down there, here comes the pick.
Yep.
Rob's he's going to pick for that guy. He's going to get the ball. He's coming off that pick and shoot.
Oh yeah, and like you guys were saying earlier, especially in basketball, you run the play until they figure out how to stop it. If you're getting layups, keep getting layups. Why make the game difficult? But it's going good.
What Houston, Colorado tonight? We haven't talked about that. I'm telling you right now, huge game. Houston's favored. They should not be favored against Colorado. Colorado should, but they are. And if Colorado loses this game at Houston,
does Prime get a little uneasy?
Right now, Colorado is the top sort of marketed. Everybody, it's going to be a great TV audience. A Friday night game. It's brilliant by ESPN to do it. Huge. Houston will never get a market like that.
Steele and I were talking about earlier. We think they should move it so we can watch our high school football and watch CJ coach.
No doubt about it. That's why the NFL doesn't play it, because of the antitrust laws. But college doesn't have antitrust laws right now, so ESPN is doing it. There's no doubt. Last week, a buddy of mine who's a scout, lives in Louisville, was all pissed off because Louisville was playing on Friday night. He goes, "I know, I want to go to high school games."
Yeah.
But now 70,000 people are going to Louisville and no one's going to the high school game. So I get it, especially down in Texas where football
football's king.
Is king. But I'm telling you right now, and the rest of the nation will be peeking at this game because it is Colorado, and they cannot lay an egg.
No. Yeah, it's got to be at least. Steele mentioned it's going to be he thinks it's going to be a barn burner. Like first one, like I kind of put in their first one to 40 win.
40. Colorado might not score 40 this month. They're going with their third quarter.
Come on, man. Let's root for some offense.
I'll make a deal with you right now.
Okay.
If you can name the starting quarterback for the Buffaloes right now, I'll root for offense.
That's a trick question. We don't know who the starting quarterback is this week.
Yeah, we do.
Merry-go-round. Last I saw, it was a white guy.
Well, you can't. That's not an answer to a question in Jeopardy.
It's Staub.
Who is the white guy? Is not.
You want a name?
It's Ryan Staub, isn't it?
I can't give you a name.
Right, Steele couldn't. That's my point.
Well, it's like, do you?
Wait, Rob.
Hey, Steele, do you really care what his name is, or do you care about the yards he's putting up?
I care about the yard. I care about the product on the field. That's what I care about.
He's a team game. He's the front of the name, not the back of the name.
Right, but my point is
his Twitter handle.
They probably misspelled it. They didn't know who he was even on their own team.
Right. My point is you can't go on Jeopardy with the answer is who is the white guy? Come on. That's not a legitimate answer. That's not an answer in Jeopardy. That's all I'm saying. You can't say who's the white quarterback.
This isn't Jeopardy here.
Unless you go name the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
There you go, Joe Burrow.
No, who's the white guy? Point is though that CU's now that he was third on the depth chart a week ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got the guy that they paid all the money from Liberty.
Yep.
You got Juju, who they paid all the money as a top quarterback to come out, and now you got this guy Staub, and you're thinking that guy's going to put 40 up? Come on now.
He's been in the system behind Sanders. He knows it better than the new guys.
Mm-hmm. I saw, dude. I mean, the dude's got fire. I saw what he was saying, like post game, just like talk about the opportunity to play. I feel like if Prime gives him that opportunity, who says he doesn't throw for 304 touchdowns?
Hey, Peter, what do you think? What do you think Prime cares more about? His young quarterbacks or winning?
Winning. I know he doesn't care. I mean, right. I mean, he's not worried about that stuff. But I'm just saying, Clint Didier. Remember that, Rob? Third string quarterback for the Cowboys won a game on Thanksgiving Day against the Redskins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about a third string quarterback putting up 400 yards.
Been in the system for a while. He just knows it more.
Cardale Jones, Big Ten game against Wisconsin, 59 points.
What was the guy that filled in?
Yeah, but he was a top. He was a top recruit. I'm just saying, Stop was not a top recruit.
All right.
Stop, and I think he did a nice job against last week against Denver. Came in, he runs the offense. He's very smooth, Colt McCoy type player.
You remember
Game
Scott
manager,
Mitchell, who played for the Dolphins?
What's that?
The quarterback that filled in for Dan Marino when Dan tore his Achilles tendon in Cleveland, and then Scott Mitchell played the rest of the year. Then the Lions signed him.
Yeah, I had
It's
Barry
like-
Sanders, and they signed him for more money than Barry, and we got a little upset about that. Right.
I can imagine, but it's kind of that, like, you only, like, how many games does he have to keep proving it and proving it? He had one good game. Let's see if he can stack another one on top of it.
Right. But I'm not saying that he can't be functional. I'm just, when you guys threw out the 40 number, I was like,
Okay. I'm not saying that will happen. That's just what I would want. That's what I want to see if I'm going to be sitting down watching Friday night college football. It feels weird. I just want to see points.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I think CU is going to have to manage the game and shorten the game. And because if they get into a run and gun with that quarterback, they're not going to end well. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
That's fair.
Their chance of winning, I think, are greater if the score is lower.
Okay. Yeah.
College football, besides Central Michigan beating Michigan, Peter, what's your favorite chance of an upset?
This weekend?
Steele had a good one. I like Steele.
What
Like,
is-
actually,
what-
like, I
what was
might go to
Steele's?
DraftKings because of Steele.
No, we're not telling you mine. This is all you.
This is
Wait.
yours.
No, I was just asking.
It's not our fault you had a deal to close in the middle of the show.
No, I'm just asking Steele what his call was.
I'm not.
So I don't want to call the same call. Is what
Oh,
I'm
you
saying.
won't.
I'd hope that you call the same call. It'd make me feel a little more confident.
Right?
So the problem is there are not a lot of close games because everybody's playing. You got Alabama, Wisconsin. It's hard. That's hard, Judge. But I'm gonna tell you, my upset of the week is Georgia Tech over Clemson.
There you go.
That's what I was looking to see. There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
I'm telling you right
validated
now.
Steele Chambers.
Yeah, Georgia Tech over Clemson. What they did to CU, that is a very well coached team.
Mm-hmm.
And that quarterback knows his strengths, knows his weaknesses, does not try to do anything he can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, going into Sunday and
Love it.
Monday night. Favorite game, the one besides the Broncos that you're not gonna miss.
Steele, you going first?
All you.
I think that I think a big game is the Giants. The two rivalry games involving New York teams: Giants, Cowboys, Jets, Bills.
Yeah.
Growing up in upstate New York, those are always Giants, Cowboys, and those are both rivalry games. And for this week 2, and they're both critical games for both New York teams. Bills coming off that huge win. Like if I'm Cleveland and they have to go into Baltimore, the one thing Cleveland did not want to do is get Baltimore embarrassed like that. Well, I did not want to be Cleveland this week, but I think those are the two, to me, two interesting games. You got the Super Bowl rematch too, Eagles and Chiefs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're playing the same time as the Broncos. That makes it rough.
I don't know why they didn't flex that out to the Sunday night game.
Probably because I think the Chiefs probably run a lot of prime time, and same with the Eagles already.
Who's this? It's Falcons Vikings Sunday night?
Sunday night. Yep, Falcons
Yeah.
Vikings Sunday night.
Yeah, I would have changed that probably.
Yep.
But I
And then
mean, yeah, the Chiefs are going to be, and the Eagles are going to be there a lot.
and keep in mind, we do have 2 Monday night games.
Yeah.
We do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bucks and Texans, and then Chargers and Raiders.
All right, let's wrap this up. I got to get back to this deal.
All right. Hey guys, it's been great. I'm predict final thing. Predictions for the Broncos Colts games. Final score. Steele, what's the final score? Broncos and Colts.
Oh, goodness gracious. Give me 24-17 Broncos.
Peter.
23-10 because there's going to be a safety.
Ooh, he's calling a safety.
That's a big call right there.
And just because it's the universal number, I'm saying 42-0 Broncos.
No. Baseball retired number 42 for Jackie Robinson, so you can't go with it.
It's the universal number.
No, it's been retired.
It's the universal number.
You got to recognize Jackie Robinson for being what he did for sports. It's been retired.
Just make it 41. Call it a day.
We'll call it 41 then.
Yeah, miss an extra point.
All right,
41-0.
guys. Still, I'll hit you up later, Rob. I'll give you a holler.
Yep.
Hey, good job, guys. It's been fun. We'll see you guys here again next week.
Yeah,
All right.
appreciate you.